Live. Okay. Second will start. Okay. With the help of Hashem, our goal this year, what is our goal? We want to understand Shitas Rashi. That's what we want to understand. So we're going to say the options here represent the problems. Our goal is local people get this option. Okay? I hope everybody prepared so they know what I'm talking about. Siyata Dishmaya. The Mishnah starts, the Masechet starts. The Surah Nises L'Yom HaRevi. A virgin gets married on Wednesday. The Almud HaFamishi widow on Thursday. The Mishnah explains. Now, not all Mishnahs explain. Well, rule number one is that you have to have case, law, reason, and source, right? The Mishnah is giving us the reason, the source. Shepa'amayim b'Shabbos twice a week. They yin and yoshvim, that days and sit, yoros in cities, b'yom Hasheni b'yom HaChamishi, Monday and Thursday. Rashi explains the Takonas Ezra. So then what? If he has a claim of Pesulim, a virginity, he will get up early morning, go to base. Okay. So the Mishnah doesn't reveal to us any part. The Mishnah says, why a Pesula gets married Wednesday, Yom Revi? Because there is twice a week we have days in Monday and Thursday. So be Yom Revi, be Wednesday. If there's any problem, he has a timeless Pesulim claim of virginity, he can get up and go to Bezin and complain. But it doesn't explain in the Mishnah which claim of Pesulim he's talking about. What he wants to do with the claim. Which level of claim? Which level of proof? There's few options here. Maybe 4 or 5 options. Number one is the claim of Pesulim is reference to Ksuba. Doesn't want to pay a Ksuba. So that the Gemara eliminates. That for the Testament base, the Gemara eliminates this possibility. Because if they want to get married, what do you say? Listen, maybe she doesn't need to get, maybe giving her 200 doesn't, you know. So how are you? Who is going to stop me? Why pays us to get involved to stop me paying money? I want money is something you can forgive and forget. So it cannot be that he's going to get up and have timeless Pesulim is about Kesuma. What about have a good meal? Shokdu. Want to have a good meal? You want to give honor to the Bnei Yisrael? That also doesn't make sense. Why? Because Shokdu, to give honor to her. So what is timeless Pesulim? What's time of Sulam has to do with that? Do with her. Want to have a good meal. So it has to do with the date, it has to do with the time of Sulim. So it's not Shokdu. It's not to have a good honored meal for honored wedding. It's not to do with losing the Ksur, it's to do with the prohibitor. Now in prohibiting her, there's 2 options. One is that she's prohibited in a level that Suffolk Doraisa Lechumra himself, he knows, he claims it's a Suffolk Doraisa, and therefore Bezin has to intervene and break the marriage. And there is another level of a person says, I know there's a problem here, The place doesn't intervene. It's only between him and Hashem. It's called Shmaya. For example, if a man, the Gemara says in Yevomis, if a man walks into his house and he sees a roichel, a peasant coming out of the house, and he sees his wife is not 100% dressed, so it's called roichel. What? So Klap Shmaya is not to keep his wife. What? It's a coin, is even this. It's a coin that has to get rid of his wife. Klap Shamayim. These will not intervene. Because maybe it's oinus. But if he sees not oinus, also Klap Shamayim. Right, it doesn't say coin. Right. So the point is, when you see a reusa, when the husband sees a reusa, and he feels what he feels, and he thinks that's what happened, for him, she's prohibited. These are not getting involved. They don't get involved. As far as Shammai, he has to get rid of her. No, he's a mitzvah, is prohibited from her. He's as a prohibition. But these will not intervene to his prohibition. It's between him and Hashem. But when you have suffix, the person says, I have a real suffix, which means he sees, he just don't know, he's a kohen. He sees Pedro says for sure, under him or not under him, because Pedro doesn't, will or force doesn't make a difference, which is a kohen. A woman, a man that is married, a kohen that's married to a woman, even though she's raped by force, she's still prohibited. Even if she didn't do it free will. So as long as under him, between the engagement and marriage, she's always prohibited. So it's only one count. What was under him, she was always prohibited, even by force. Or not under him. When you have one suffix, and a person says, I see it's open, they're going to have one suffix for me clear. Somebody the rice lechuma, reason has to intervene and take the marriage. It's not allowed. If he wants, they allow Hashem to give him Morash, just put the Ragam to give him Malchus. Once Hashem, they break the marriage. They're not allowed to get married. So what the Mishnah is talking about? The Mishnah is talking about the person gets involved when he gets up in the morning, when it says, don't get married Wednesday. Why? Because he has a Tainus Besulim. He has going crazy. What's he going to do? Is it going to break the marriage? So the rabbi said, of course, if that's the case, we'll have to intervene, get the marriage. That's why they're going to get married Wednesday. It's true. The reason why to get married on Wednesday was if he has Tainus Besulim, or be a type of shot a little soon that he says to me, the something is the race. It's not a race. It's so the race. So the race. So I stick to being closer to the person. So therefore, he made a takona. He made a takona to get married Wednesday. Of course, if you have Tainus Besulim, there'll be a type of shot and the second store of all Suffolk that he's not stick to me. That makes sense. Why the rabbis get it? Get married on Wednesday. Makes sense, okay? But who says that's the pshat? Maybe that's one option. Because nobody knows what happened in the room. It's his claim. So this is his words. It's words. It's only words. It's Shavamach. It's not an Eidu. It's not an Eid. It's only there's no Eid in here. So he saw him. So he made an Yisur on himself. Shavamach. So it's an Yisur. But this has to be. So it's going to be very easy. We know it's not money. We are eliminating money, right? It's eliminated. So which level of Yisur? Let's say Yisur matters that Bezin has to intervene. So then it makes sense why Bezin makes a takon to get married Wednesday, because they have to intervene. Because if he has Tainus Besulim, it's a type of Shalom. The Bezin has to intervene and break the marriage. So because of that, maybe he'll be in a position that Bezin has to intervene, break the marriage. Now that we know what's going to happen, the normal woman getting married, I mean, very not anything, just don't get married on Wednesday. Because if there's any trouble, it's an insurance policy. We want to make sure that if there's any trouble, Anything get involved and break the marriage, which they're obligated to do that. Okay, so that makes sense. That's one option. That's what the Mishnah is talking about. But if that's the case, you eliminate the Mishnah, which simply speaks about all women. The Surah Nisus means all women. Virgins. Not a virgin specifically was only one doubt. And then the Shariah of Surah, the Mishnah has to break the marriage. Simply we're talking about all women. Just two shakers. There's two shakers, there's two doubts. One doubt is that she's permitted to him. Even if it's open. And if it's on the and more than that, and I want to teach you something very important. It's called Sveik HaMisapech. What is Sveik HaMisapech that turns around, which means I can say two sides. I can say she's prohibited, but even then, depends only that's the outside. Then I can say another doubt. What happened there? Happened at the women's outside. It happened before. She's permitted. So it's called space, which means the sides I can go both ways. When you have two doubts both ways, it becomes a majority. The space is like the whole of a majority. So you have a starting majority of possibilities. So therefore, it should be permitted. So what was the story? The rabbi said, get married on Wednesday. He's going to go to court. Go to court. We'll go to town and go back. Everything is all right. It's fake faker. Double fake is just permitted. So what's wrong? What's wrong? Go back home. He says, in my heart, it's like a Rachel. She told me she's a virgin. And I called her. She lied to me. So now that I see it also, I see that she lied. So is it like a Rachel? Like a Rachel? I can say Shavdanav Shechtir Yisur, which is also. So means there's a real reason, at least a suspect to the level the Ritva says that you have 80. Doesn't mean anything. No, it's even less than Rachel. It's even less. You can't say I see a Reus. I see. Maybe no. I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not sure if I'm thinking together, thinking loud. Saying I have a doubt in my mind, I'm going to solve it as well. When he says, I see the opening is open. And even though you have two doubts, so a woman that commit a snooze before adultery, before marriage is not before engaged is not adultery. She's permitted to her husband. Doesn't matter free will or solely by force. We don't have to do that as pitzus. It's a love. If she's needed chorus, that's between God and her. With one with the husband. Which type of religion that hurts the husband? Talk about the husband here. It's only under him. It's only under him. So my pitzus between her and God is not enough to say there's a rule said that I have to worry about it. I have studying two sides. Maybe it happened before the marriage, and that's nothing between her and God. Because it's reference to money. Reference to divorce. There's a different story. We're talking about prohibition. We said, what is the case? The Mitzvah's time to Besulim, what's the subject is about? He has a claim of she's not Besulim. It's his problem. See? Now again, we eliminate that. Because it's money, if you want to get married Tuesday or Thursday, and you don't care about the money, you cannot stop it. If the woman is prohibited to get married, you're coming out here, you're coming around, you're not going to say it's a criminal. It's to be foolish. If it's one subject, makes sense. You say she's calling and when I have one doubt. So then if it really she's not a virgin, it's better for two. and have one doubt. So Shadia Moshe by one doubt, he says, I know, and I have one doubt, and he cultivated twice so it's open, just to me, I have one doubt, which is also the overall, so he was a Kohen, only one doubt in such a case, and I have one doubt. So to me, Shadia Moshe, basically, has to force me to divorce. So it makes sense. Get married on Wednesday, because if you have time as Masurim, these will have to get involved. Yeah, it's a normal. She didn't get engaged with her father for less than 3 years old. No. She got engaged 12 years old, and she got married 13 years old. Okay? 12 and a half, she got engaged. 13 and a half, she got married. Girl. Those are the ages of those days. Okay? Normal. And now he says, Pesach Patuach. Now there's 2 doubts. What happened here? She's not a virgin before the engagement. She's permitted. It's only her and Hashem. She did it free will. So between her and Hashem, it only affect me money-wise, but not prohibition-wise. She did it by force. Surely it's not a problem. If she happened after the engagement, depends. Free will, she's out. She did it by force. She was raped. She's in. So now, let's focus. Let's tell the guy. She's permitted. No, we said it's fake misapich. It's called both sides, which is like you have majority of sides. Because if it happened before the engagement, it's permitted. You leave it afterwards, was by first, she's permitted only by first. There's only one side, one option, the case that she'd be permitted. The majority of cases are permitted her. So it's a fake misapich that there's even a lawyers, the Lisa, some people say. So l'choira, she have time as pursuing. So even if time is pursuing, what's the problem? Should be permitted. It's fake Satan. This is the problem that Moses has and Rashi was faced, and the question is what Rashi answered. Okay? So when you read Tosfot, not for the sake of Tosfos, for the sake to understand better Rashi, what Rashi is saying. I don't know Moshiach, and the more than Moshiach, is a bit that she really is permitted. Right? But she's permitted. If you ask her, what's the law? She's permitted or prohibited? Permitted. Good. So if she's permitted, so why do Rabbi's let it to get married on Wednesday? What's the problem? Even if he has a problem, it's not going to go. He goes to me. He's permitted. This is Places Kasha. Let's see what Places answered. After Places, go back to Rashi. So it'll be easier for us to understand. I'll explain today this Hashem. My goal today is to read the Hassam Sofer and the Nesivos, the Beis Yaakov. Those are 2 major terutzim, famous terutzim. To have questions on them. That's not my questions. And to give another solution. And I want to prove my solution from Rashi Daf Yud Beis. There's a very old proof, a young rabbi. I brought this proof years ago from Daf Yud Beis. I have a raya to my pshat. Besides the language, I have 2 rayas. The language here, Daf Yud Beis. Rashi Daf Yud Beis. Okay? This is what we want to do today. So let's see Toises. Toises says, Sheim Orotainas. You see Toises? 4 Toises in the page. In Toima, Toises says, our question. He says, if the husband is a Kohen, so only have one doubt. When he says the opening was open, and he's Shadia Nashe, he says, believe me, because even I'm not a witness, but I can put a prohibition on myself. He's suing, I can put an issue on me. So he says, makes sense, the rabbi said get married Wednesday, because if he finds Pesadurach, so then he goes to Beis Din, should be prohibited because the one suffering, the husband is a Kohen. It's only one doubt. Why? Because as long as after the engagement, she's always prohibited. A Kohen is, a Kohanim should know that. Kohanim don't let the wives walk at night. You know that? They're very careful on the wife. Late at night, they don't let the wife walk around. Anyone here is a Kohen in Yeshiva? No, we have Daniel as a Kohen. But it's not here. But Mexican, talk about the Argentinian. He's a Kohen. But here we don't have a Kohen. A person is a Kohen, is a lot of trouble, is to make sure that his wife will not get to position even being raped. Because being raped, she's prohibited. Person loves his wife, he has kids, 20 kids, grandchildren, married for 40 years. Bye-bye, he's prohibited. Raped, finished, no stories, nothing. It's a big disaster, very big, very big, even rape. Says only one, by a Kohen is only one suffix. If it's after an engagement, no matter what, it's prohibited. The only way to permit it happen before the engagement. So he says, it makes sense if she's a wife of a Kohen, the Sula, a virgin, that got engaged to a Kohen, there's only one suffix. Okay? So I understand why the rabbis fixed to get married Wednesday. If there's any problem, she's prohibited. He can put on himself Shabbat Achidisura of Suffolk Isu. So the rest of the she got engaged less than 3 years old. Which suffix? If she got engaged before, the rule is girl that gets raped before 3 years old, the virginity grows back. So it cannot be before 3. And she got engaged exactly at before 3 years old. So if it happened before, it cannot be. She'll be still virgin. If you found her not a virgin, it didn't happen before the engagement. It's only after the engagement. So it's only by rape or by free will. It's only one doubt. Since those two cases, a wife of a Kohen or she got engaged less than 3 years old, which is those two cases have one doubt, so it makes sense why the rabbi said get married on Wednesday, because if he has a claim of Basulim, he will create as one doubt, and one doubt. So if he said the rules by a doubt of the Oraisa, one doubt of the Oraisa, she's prohibited. She has to be strict. The rabbi is worried to him to get married in order that she would, that's a steinach. Wait a second. You can say opposite to that. There's a small to say totally opposite against this. I want to say a contrast small against it. Doisus assume that this is a steinach makes sense. It's not necessarily. He can say that when he gets up in the morning and says, Pesach Patuach, and there's one doubt, I don't need it to get married because he's prohibited to him. Even priest has to get in the road. So what I need to don't get married. Even get married Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even why? Because Klappah Shaman is it's the highest level of Shabbat Yisur. It's not even Klappah Shaman, it's Klappah Bezdin. But he has to get in the road. She's prohibited, so we don't have to Chumrah. You don't care. There's no Tula here. Because we don't worry about non-religious Jews. We don't worry about Jews that are not straight. Second, we'll see what Rashi says. Says what? What? That's where. Yes. It's a good point. You have an eye against. I like that. What's it? I know that. I know that. But it needs an explanation. Simply, I would say that a person get married even 2 days far away from, or 3 or 4 days far away from Bezdin, because if he knows that she's prohibited, we're not talking about Jews which are not Shomer Torah mitzvahs. So if he knows she's prohibited totally by one subject, so you don't even. This says if it was one subject, I understand why the rabbis told to get married next to a Bezdin day on Wednesday, because there's a real issue. I'm saying there's a contrast, I would say. When there's a real issue, I don't need a takona. Because there's a straight Jew who will take care of it even a couple of days later. She's prohibited. The simple story is the opposite. It's not a small. one suffer. Something that says that going to make sense. He's a svara that when I have Baba Isu, one subject, let's use that svara in the student Rashi. Let's start throwing it in. We'll see in Rashi, maybe we can use that svara. Continue on. Now, the Shah just the mission talk about all women. And that, no, the Shah no shame because the mission in specific. But all the woman Tosha says, the Inca say so that there's two doubts. To get he gets the money, he says, she's too committed. So there's no claim of pursuing here. What's the problem? We're going to read it quickly, and then we're going to see Rashi. Abinutan answers, the rabbis didn't make a split. ומשום שסקורן, חוץ גימל תקנו בכל המושים. She knows him from talent. Because of one suffix, a woman, a wife of a Korean, or a woman that got engaged less than 3 years old, which is only one doubt, because of those women, the rabbi speaks that all women will get married Wednesday. Even though all women will get married Wednesday, and the Sipet Torah, they get up in the morning, there's no point going to court. So they don't need to have a marriage next to a court day. You don't need to have marriage next to a court day, Wednesday next to Thursday, which Thursday is a court day. Because even if you have a court day, they go to court, they'll be 6 seconds, which is permitted. The rabbi said, no, all women and all the people that make Kilukim, all women get married on Wednesday. Because which women? Women, a wife of a Kohen, or she got engaged with her father less than 3 years old. Now she's 13, 14 years old, whatever it is. You have one subject. Shemon is Chadus, one subject. Those cases, the rabbi speaks, and because of them, they fix it all women in order not to make a difference. Because people, this is where I want to tell you, listen to this. They teach you, if you go to a course or university, say Betafka, we don't care about university, but the Chochmah of the Great Tali, they teach you in management, when you have a company, workers, when you have a Rosh Hashiva and you have a Talmidim, very important to know what it is. You can't give two messages. People only hear one message. If you want people to listen, if you say two messages, they don't get it. You say one, they get it. People hear only one thing. They don't only hear two things. There's a rule by nature of man. Doesn't matter. And a coin is part of the virgins. It's getting married to a virgin woman. So all virgin women need to get married Wednesday because for some of those women, we want to give them insurance policy if there's something probably a problem, and we want to protect them. So therefore, all women get married on Wednesday. That's what he's asking. And people, because it's not only Koyanim, also Chuspas Gimel Shalim Echad. Who says? A lot of people, I'll tell you, I won't say it depends on communities. Depend. 1 second. We should do that when you have a lot of souls of exile. You know you know who the Jews, the Gruzinis. You heard about the Gruzinis Jews, the Caucasian Jews. Until today, 2025. If you go to the Gruzinis and Caucasian Jews, when a girl is born, you are married to this guy. Why did he do that? Because the girl used to want to rape the girls. And if she was already engaged to someone, the Muslim left them alone. So they did that. There was many reasons. It was very common to do that. So maybe nowadays, in the modern days, still as wacky in our reality, it could be not very common. Depends. So therefore, in order not to make a split between women, he can't say only Kohanim because only Paschuvas Gimel. Can't say it's not Shchiach because it depends on community reality. So they make takana all women get married Wednesday because some of them will have a problem of one suffix will be permitted. But two sveikes will be permitted. This is what Tosis is. Now we're ready for Rashi. Let's see Rashi. Rashi, I'm reading Rashi. Rebel, you guys prepared, right? Rashi and the you had got the papers, right? The papers you got, right? Good. Who sent it to you? The Binyamin, Baruch Hashem. Shkoyach, if I don't see Binyamin here, I won't thank you. Binyamin Shkoyach. He sent it to the people that have it. Shkoyach. Let's see Rashi. I want to Mechadashi and Rashi a pshat, and I want to Mechiach it, okay? This is the point. To say an option, a lot of people say an option. I want to Mechiach it. That's my point today. In the language of Rashi and also in Rashi Daf Yud Beis. Okay? This is what I want to do today. B'ezrat Hashem. B'Sheni v'Chamishi. Shepamayim b'Shabbos abasuli koi. The Mishnah is not explaining why a widow gets married on Thursday. Rashi says the Mishnah wants to explain the reason why a virgin gets married. Besulukoi. Why a virgin gets married on Wednesday. Because Sheni v'Chamishi, Rashi says, one of the 10 fixings Ezra described, fixed, that you have to have courts and Monday and Thursday. And Monday and Thursday was the day of a market. On Monday and Thursday, people would have heard Kriyas HaTorah. And Monday and Thursday, court was open, the people can claim the claims. All that we have to today. Why do we read the Torah on Monday and Thursday? Is the Kohen says. Ezra the scribe fixed those things. Do today. We're talking about 3,500 years ago, 3,000 years ago. Ezra made a takana is still holding to today. That we read the Torah on Monday and Thursday. Basins is on Monday and Thursday. The Yom HaShuk is Monday and Thursday. Those are the things he fixed and he held the Jewish people. So one of them is you have Monday and Thursday, it's the day of Beis. And it gives all the 10 takonos that Ezra described it. He did many takonos, many things. One of them is Monday and Thursday, Beis. Therefore, Rashi says, tiknu. So it seems to be that this takon is not takonas Ezra. It's takonas Chachomim. Like Rashi says in the beginning of the Mishnah. It's a takon of Chachomim. Rabbinic takon, rabbinic fixing. So comes Rashi and he says, Velekach tiknu. For that, the rabbis fixed. Shetinose berevi, she get married on Wednesday. Sheim the if, or your loitainas besulim, if he will have a claim of virginity, Yashkim lebezdin void kaso olav. If he has a claim of besulim, he will get up to big court right the next morning when the anger is still on him. V'im yesh shaud ben atayim, will be a pause time between. Yeshlochu, just to worry, Shema Yispais, maybe it will be a peace. If it will be too far away, 2 days before, we're afraid it will be a peace. So what will be a peace? So what? Be a peace, so therefore what? So let's see what Rashi says. V'tiskarer baitoi. Once he's appeased, his spirit will be cooled off. I had a phone call the last 2 weeks, and a month ago, this girl, every maybe month or two, she calls me that she got engaged. It's one of the guys in the yeshiva, long time ago in the yeshiva, going to the yeshiva, and she got, I think maybe she got married to him, and every about a month or two, she calls me up, rescue me, from your student, rescue me. It's like, okay, you want? Come tomorrow afternoon to speak to me. You know what happened? Already 4 times, she never came. Because after the night, she got appeased and everything's okay. I said, come now. First time I said, come now. Second, I said, come tomorrow. Since then, every time, 4 times. Come tomorrow. Everything's okay. So Shema inspires but Tiskarer Baiton. Maybe he will appease and his das will be cooled off. Wow. She says the next word, a very bombastic word. Forget kaimana. What do kaimana means? He let her stay. The Shema, and maybe he's in Satachtov, maybe she committed adultery under him. The Nesra, she's prohibited. As the Gemara in Soita says, Avin Besoito, Vivenistra Benitra. The Gemara in Masechet Soita says, if you open Soita of Chavchet, Zayin would base Chavchet. The Mishnah there in the Gemara says, they learn from Pesukim that when an engaged woman, she lives with another man, she's prohibited to both. She's never allowed to marry the boyfriend, she committed adultery with him, and she will never ever marry back to her husband. She become a heftzaf tumah, v'nitma. V'nistera, she hid, v'nitma, she did a tumah. Tumah means there's a tumah on her body, and she can never come back to her husband. So now she says, if you will get married not on Wednesday, get married, let's say Tuesday. How many days from now is basing? 2 days from now. Wednesday, Thursday. She'll wait 2 days, maybe the guy will appease and his spirit will cool down, and then what will happen? He will let her stay by him, and maybe she committed adultery unto him and she's prohibited on him. Wow. Umitoch sheyovel lebezin, and by him coming to court, the thing will be clarified. Sheyetza kol, and the voice will come out. Shema yavoedi, maybe witnesses will come. Gemara asked, let her get married on Sunday. Sunday is also next to court day. Okay. This Rashi needs an explanation. Everybody attacked the Rashi. Who attacks the Rashi? Toysves. Toysves, Ritvo, all the Rishonim attack Rashi. Rashi talk about what? A normal woman, a normal virgin, not a virgin, a wife of a Kohen, not a virgin that she got engaged less than 3 years old. And normal Besula is normal Besula. And yet Rashi says, Ulekach tiknu. You know why the rabbis fixed? The rabbi fixed next to a day they won't cool off. Why we care they won't cool off? Because maybe she did his news and she's prohibited him. And then if we go to court, and from within going to court, the thing will be clarified if she's committed or prohibited him. How? Sheyetza kol, a voice will come out. The Shema already, maybe witnesses will come and clarify the reality.
When it's marriage, here we have 25% that's dinner.
Right.
So maybe it's not common that they take like Qatar, take the rights of the Umrah, to take a Galapot. Meaning that maybe even in state Tekra, we clarify, because it's marriage and it's so common, we suspect. Maybe we could clarify.
Umrah visu, erva. Jawel. Steek, even by Chumrah of erva, she's permitted. Even by a real Chumrah case, permitted. What? Oh, that's why I think Pshat and Rashi. And I have 2 rayas to that. One Rashi here and one Rashi Daf Yud Beis. But before I'm going to say this Pshat, which we're going to say in a second, I want to present what's the Chassam Sofer and what the Nesivos, the Beis Yaakov say. And then we're going to have kashas, and then we'll say what you said now, but I'll prove it. Okay, I'll prove this what I said. So open the papers, please. And Daf Shtayim and Daf Shalosh. Page 2, the last 2 lines. There's 2 lines. It's very simple. The Chassam Sofer. Sheim oil otainas besuli. Sorry, before I see the Chassam Sofer, I jumped the gun. I want to explain the language of Rashi needs explanation. I want to read the Rashi, the last words in Rashi again. And it itself needs an explanation. It's contradiction in words. Why? Because he says, maybe Shema is in some, maybe she committed adultery on him and she's prohibited him. Umitoch sheyovel lebezin, and within he's going to come to court. Is baradovo. The thing will be clarified. That's a strong language of Vadai, right? If he comes to court, mitoch sheyovel lebezin is baradovo. The thing will be clarified. Then he says, when the voice will come out, Shema already. Maybe when this will come out, Shema. It's not his but the word Isbarer means clear Vadai. When he's going to come to court, the law, the Bezin is Vadai, the thing will be clarified. It seems to be Vadai. He says, how will it be clarified? When the voice will come out, maybe witnesses. So going to court is maybe, she should have said, when we talk within come to court, now he should have said, Shema is Baradovo. Maybe the thing will be clear. He didn't say that. He says, he's Baradovo. We should come on, maybe witnesses. It's Shema or Vadai. That needs an explanation here.
Call make the father. The call.
No, Rashi said she said calling Father avoiding. He didn't say that. It says Shema. It says will be a voice Shema avoiding. So then it's not his baris. Shema is baris. Should have written more if I'm more careful in the words, I should have said Shema is baris. Until when? Until when? No. So why Shema avoiding? What is the Shema? Maybe when it will come. Who's on the side they're not coming? If they, so why you say Shema avoiding? Say mitoch shetakol. Wait a second. If Edim don't come, that's a proof that she didn't commit adultery. That's not true. Maybe no Edim saw. Adarabah, the normalcy. Adarabah, I'll explain why you're wrong. 1 second. Because the normal adultery is hidden. People don't know.
Maybe someone comes up and they see the guy walking.
But that's what that doesn't stop there. He says he's when she gets a call, when a voice will come out, maybe witnesses will come. Yes.
So it gets clarified.
I can't hear. 1 second. Melech, what are you saying? No, it doesn't say that. It says when it comes to court, the thing was when the voice comes out. Where the voice comes from her, she admits it's her admitting. You don't have to have a voice. The voice comes from him and he can't to court. He can say like this. The thing will clarify, will force her to admit. Because a voice will come out and maybe witness will come, so she'll admit. She's afraid maybe somebody saw her. Maybe, but it's also a maybe because not necessarily. She doesn't admit. She's not afraid. She takes her chances. You can't say that. It's not a vadai. See that? What Rashi means here? What Rashi means, the thing will clarify. Clarify for her admitting, because a voice will come out. Maybe witnesses will come, so she has to be afraid and she will admit. That's the reason. A fear. She's not afraid for the consequences. Well, she says, well, what happened? If witnesses come, I lost my life. But witnesses don't come, I still want to fix my life. I take the chances. Why should they be an honest dope? Admit before the time? No. Before the gun, before the bullet shoot at me? No. There's no proof.
In the case that someone is afraid because they might avoid it. What case is the Gemara now? So we learn, not in this Gemara, we learn that.
Yes, no, we find. The Gemara says that a woman is medayek if her husband died or not. A woman says, my husband died. He permitted to get remarried because if he comes in, she lose everything. She's afraid maybe he'll come in or witnesses will contradict her. She's afraid. She's a fear, but those fears are not vandai. You can't say a vandai. Because vandai, some people will take consequences. So where's the clarification of vandai? She's Baradobo, it's not vandai. She believes Shema is Baradobo. Yeah, no, rebel. Shema is not Shema. Yes, Abchaim. 1 second.
It's going to get clarified. Clarified means that the Beis Din will make a clarification what to do. Not to they'll decide what to do. The clarification, I mean, it'll be known what happened. They'll clarify what the din has to be according to what's available.
Basically, clarify. I'm answering you why it's wrong. Because basically has to clarify according to the rules of psika, of psak. If witnesses don't come, that's fake to permit her. None of that.
Good, so that'll be the clarification.
I'm asking you, Reb Chaim. Before Edim comes, this is for everyone. Before Edim comes, she's permitted to be with her husband or not. The guy gets up at 1 second. The guy gets up in the morning. 1 second. Listen to my question. I have a double question. The guy gets up in the morning. He says Pesach Patuach. He runs to court. Before he goes to court, he travels to court and he's on a motel. He can be with his wife or not. Question number 1. Number 2 is after he files a complaint in court, and the voice comes out and he's waiting for witnesses, maybe witness going on. He's allowed to be with his wife. He has to restrain his wife. And if he has to be restrained until when? I know that. Until when? Until when? At normal time, it could be a year, 2 years, 10 years. When this will come? Where's the limitation?
That's his problem. That's his problem.
She's committed.
So what?
Just wanted to do an act. Yes, what do you want to say? The
base has to tell him what he has to do. It's very simple. I don't see what's a kasha.
זה לא נכון. כי אם העדים לא יבואו, זה לא בירור. יכול להיות שאין עדים.
רב יצחק,
היא מותרת. גם לפני שהעדים הגיעו, היא מותרת. וגם, אתה לא יודע, לפני שהעדים יהיו מותרת, וגם אחרי שהעדים יבואו, הוא צריך לבדוק אותם. ולפני אם הם לא באים, זה לא אומר שאין. יכול להיות שהם מפחדים לבוא, שהמשפחה תהרוג אותם, תדכא להם, מה אתם שטינקרים? Why you lie? Why you told me? Why you put me down? Or there's no witnesses. She committed adultery and nobody saw. B50, the sky is open. Yes, so where's the bill? He was bad. Yes, Shema should be because of amazing. Shema is bad, not his bad. Shema is bad. Yes. Yes. The Shema, once a Rashi before that said Shema. Shema is in Sabenes Realm, Apostle Minister Nidwan. That's if that's what happened.
It's not a contradiction. Is that true?
Maybe.
The Basin will decide what to do and tell them what to do. That's called clarification.
And the Basin will tell them, forget it.
Whatever they tell them, but that's the clarification. Whatever they tell them. That's the clarification. It's about that clarification.
In the room making relation with the other.
No.
So, even though that is forbidden.
Yes.
So, Shema, even though the didn't came, it's also forbidden.
No, that's not true. That's not true. There's rules. When a woman, you don't prohibit a woman's secluded with a man, she's not prohibited. No? Because a guy because he warned her, was a kinu and steal. Without kinu stam, a woman secluded with a man, she's not permitted. Prohibited. If a wife secluded with a man, she's not prohibited. What?
Rav Yitzchak.
Stoita what? Yes, Stoita's after kinu. You warned her and then she was stealer. But it was 80 man stealer. 80 man stealer and it was kinu. But stam stealer is nothing. You don't prohibit a woman secluded finish. Destroy all marriages. Don't listen to me. Okay, guys.
The base is going to clarify what he has to do. That's not a cuss what you said.
Bezin, before he came, could have told him what to do. Enough to come to Goyis. You go to a rabbi and tell him that fake is permitted.
No, but they have no reason to talk to him if he didn't come.
And Rashi says how? Rashi says, Mitoch she'ole Bezin is ma'adova. He says how? Because will be a voice and maybe witnesses. You start saying, you know how to be clarified. The voice will come, maybe. That's only a maybe. It's not. Should be a sure. Clarification.
That's not true. That you're learning what clarification.
It needs explanation, guys. This needs explanation.
That's because you're learning clarification in a certain bechina, and there's different bechinas. You picked one bechina with clarification. You mean what clarification is shaykh to? You may assume that's one thing, could be another thing.
הוא אומר שבאיזה גיל לא עכשיו זה ספק מותרת, אם יבוא עדים יהיה אסורה. אבל לא צריך לבייס ויכול לשאול רב יגיד לו ספק. הבייס לא צריך לחדש פה. החידוש אומר רש"י אומר שיצא קול ושם יבוא עדים, זה הביאור. רש"י אומר שמתוך של האדור שיצא הקול, מתי שיצא הקול יהיה ביאור של העדים. אז הוא אומר אז יהיה ביאור, עד אז לא יהיה ביאור. ספק זה לא ביאור מבייס, זה דין. לא ביאור מבייס, זה לא עדים שבייס צריכים לקבל ולחקור. Basically, 80 when you have to investigate. That's called biur madis. That's 80. That's why I don't accept the Reb Chaim facial thought. Guys,
the
you
base
understood what I
doesn't
said,
decide what
Moshe Gabriel? Good. So now I want to see the Chassam Soifer.
No, I don't understand what you said.
Yes.
It's not clear what you're saying.
Necessarily, maybe there's no 80, maybe she came in adultery, no 80.
So what?
Most women came in adultery, nobody sees them.
So
Make
what?
sure
So
they
what?
see them.
So what's there for what?
It's even harder. It's Isbayer by Shema. I found God, maybe witnesses will come because maybe there's no witnesses, and if there is, who says they want to stink, talk, want to hide, who says they want to come, want to spend the day off of the tzaddikim?
Even if they don't come, it's still.
There is only one 8 saw. Did it see clear?
So the basin will say, according to that, that's what the law is.
I
It's
can't
very
hear
simple.
that. 1 second.
Desires at that time, when she starts off as a horse, then she desires it, that will also be more of a problem when it comes back to our problem.
No, desires nothing.
So when she desires it, also, when she desires,
Yes.
when someone comes to her.
Yes.
It starts with he's forcing her, but then she desires.
That's a different story. Different story than when some woman is forced, raped, and then she desires. That's another shaila. That's considered holiness. We consider that holiness. Because even then, her desire comes from holiness that the pleasure forces her to enjoy it. It's called that holiness. That's a different story. Right. And then the Ram says it's holiness because she cannot control her emotions. Yes, Reb Chaim.
You're learning a
Peshat can speak.
You're learning what it means clarification. What's clarified? You have a certain way. If you say clarification is what the law has to be in the end.
I'm not saying a certain way. I'm reading Rashi. Rashi says.
Yeah, it's going to clarify what.
Then you tell me what Rashi says. I'm reading to you the words of Rashi. I'm translating for you the Lashon of Rashi. Rashi says, I'm reading language. Rashi says, read it again. Umitoich, and within, Shiovel base, within it come to court, the thing will be clarified. Ke sheyet, in other words, ke, when, thing will clarify when, sheyetza kol, when the voice will come out, Shem already, maybe witnesses will come. She starts saying when, keshe, and then he goes to maybe, tells you when thing will be clarified, when a voice will come out, maybe. It's a maybe. So if that's when,
right? So good. So what? What's no? It's not maybe clarified. Maybe witnesses.
Okay.
It's good. Maybe witnesses will come, not maybe the.
What?
It's maybe witnesses will come. That's what it's saying. Maybe witnesses will come.
I'm saying in the language,
based on the
language. Okay.
I don't see a problem. You're modulating it a certain way.
The language of Rashi. Rashi
but
starts by saying,
you
go to court to be clarified. He seems to be saying clear when the voice will come out, and he jumps in by saying maybe.
It depends what means clarified. What do you mean by clarified?
He says,
you know what clarified means?
When the voice will come out, maybe witnesses will come. There's no such words. I'm just translating the words. I'm saying over again the words what he says.
Okay, but you're saying Peshat afterwards. You said what clarified means.
I'm asking you to say Peshat. I'm not saying Peshat. I'm representing.
So I said a Peshat. A Peshat is.
Soon I'm going to give you salvation. Soon. There's a Hashem in the end of this will give it. But yes, what do you want to say, Melech? Yes. Right. And the witnesses don't come. Right. So, but we don't need to go to court to do that. There's always fake, even before I go to court. The fact the witnesses didn't come, it doesn't add in this fake to permit. The one, maybe witnesses maybe didn't saw. That we only gave opportunity, but it doesn't help in the clarification that she's permitted if they don't come. Because maybe there's no witnesses, that's why they didn't come. Well, but she's permitted without doing this act. So it says it's not through. So she don't need Beis Din to complain to create a permitted. She's permitted anyhow. They're coming to court us to clarify maybe she is praying. Not any else.
How do you know?
The fact they don't come doesn't add anything. I'm telling you, it doesn't say what I'm saying. Doesn't add in the permission.
That's not true. A man,
understand?
A man can't decide himself what to do. A man can't himself
Go to
decide what the
rabbi
law
and
is.
ask. You don't need a court. Go to a rabbi. Go to a rabbi.
Doesn't matter what he
What do you
did.
want to say, Reb Chaim? Why quiet, Reb Chaim? What do you want, Reb Yosef? כן. ומקיימר. And if he goes to Beizim, they also tell him he's allowed to Mekaymer. If he goes to Beizim, what Beizim tell him? He can be with her or not? Not? Fake faker. She's permitted. If he goes to Beizim, Beizim tells her she's permitted or not before he even come. She's permitted. That's a problem. That's a problem. What? Good, and they cannot clarify that. It's still fake. It's only Edim won't come. That depends on them. They only can create a reality that could clarify. So you have to say,
Right.
So you have to say what Rashi means. You have to explain what Rashi means. Yes, Moshe. So you have to say, when you go to court, it doesn't mean you will be clarified. You're doing an act, bringing a possibility to clarify. Not a possibility. You're going to court to create a reality of clarification. That's what I mean. To create a code. So that code could be a possibility, which means the obligation is to go to court to create a reality of possibility of correction. There's not a possibility. It's to create from your obligation on the gavra, on the person, you have a heel to create an obligation. You have a heel to clarify. That's what it means. She's by a heel to create his biru. She's a call. Not that the biru will be father. Not that the biru will be something. But you have to have creation. You have to create a father possibility. Who says this? Let's see. She
That's what I'm saying.
The proof das Rashi betoismes. is fake השם של לבן, שי אלוהי, לרש"י צריך לטרוח לברר, לרבנו תם, sorry, בלו זה כאן מוינים, זה לחסם ספר, I'll try to what he says, the Machoiv Toises, Rabbeinu Tam and Rashi, in the general rule, when you have two doubts, you need to exert yourself to clarify, oh no, you can go to sleep, fake sick is permitted, it's finished, oh no, you're right, it's permitted, but you still have an obligation, have the obligation to exert levar, to create a reality of biru. So that's what Rashi says. Maybe she's
That's what I was saying. Well, that's exactly what I was saying.
Fine, let me finish. I say what the Chazam Sofer, then you can. The Chazam Sofer says, this is what it means in Rashi. It means in Rashi, you know why a woman gets married, a basula gets married on Wednesday? Because you want him to go to court. You want the heat to beat, to push him to go to court. Why? You want him to go because he has an obligation. In reality, a sveika, he has an obligation to create a reality of biru. To exert himself to create a biru. So by going to court, he's means he's giving a reality, he's giving a platform of biru. He did his obligation. Obligation is not to prove one day or the other. It's to create, to exert, to create a reality that you couldn't have. So when you have an option to create a reality, you have an obligation. That means he's buying. You know, the reality to end. To create a reality of him. The Torah says the reality. You understand the what? That's where he should be. Yes, Rabbi Yoshua.
That's exactly what I was saying to you.
Why not?
I was saying that just what he just said. I just think that's what I was saying.
I can't hear you. You speak and I don't hear you. Once what he spoke before I have to hear him. Rabbi, you say what you want to time face you speak.
I'm saying exactly what Hashem himself said. That's what my kavanah was exactly.
We're the same bench. Very good. So he said we're the same bench. Very good. So I understood you and now I understand you said like the Chazam Sofer. What do you want to say about Yoshua?
Okay.
Why? It's a Isurim. Obligation to Torah is a issur. If you don't do it, you don't do obligation. You over issur. There's no issur in the reality of living with her. But you have an obligation. You have to feel obligation to exert. If you have an option, a way to clarify it, even though the clarification is possibility, only a possibility, but you have an obligation to exercise that possibility, to bring that possibility to reality. Right. Even on reality, he's allowed to live with her. The next morning, he goes to the basin and he says, I opened the fire. I did my job. My job is to create a reality. I did my job. Sleep. Get rid with him. I didn't do the job yet. The Takana was, this was very important what I'm saying. The Takana was getting married on Wednesday. In order that the heat will make sure he goes to court, that he will do his obligation to clarify. Right? So after he did his thing, he did a V. Even before witnesses come and come, he did his V. He put a V. I did my job. Obligation to create a reality is okay. Definitely give it away. Question is between the night, Pesach Patuach, and until he does an obligation. The rabbi said, get married Wednesday because we want to make sure you do obligation litroya. You didn't do your ticha. The rabbis prohibited her to you or not. That's not clear to me. 1 second, everyone say yes or Bell. Yes. Until he makes his exercise. Until he's ticha, until he's made Torah. No, we said it's the din on the gavra. Means he will do his piru, he do his obligation, he does his obligation, he needs the mevayer. Once he does the obligation, he's free. It's the obligation. The result is no, it's not a payment. The result could be 10 years or not, 2 years or not. That's not nothing to do with him. He needs to do his obligation. That's what some Sefer says. So but the result, but once he did his chiyuv, yes, Rabbi Yosef. He's allowed to get married and soymech at Sveik. Taking the risk, but it's not a risk. Sveik. Who says there's a Sveik? Maybe this roof will fall on me. Maybe a missile from me. We follow reality of majorities. We live like that. We can be soymech on it. It's not considered sakona.
Like in Boston.
Yes. Yes. If you have the ability by Sveik, Machlokes Kadmonim brings down. If you have ability to clarify Sveik, some Rishonim hold, which Tasarashi and Ran and our Sugi want to say, they hold you have an obligation to clarify. So 1 second. So the rabbi speaks, get married Wednesday. Why? Because they want to make sure that the emotions of anger that you're going to have naturally will fulfill your obligation to clarify. Even though even without that, you need to fulfill that. But we worry maybe bias since Lemaisha she's permitted. It's only between him and God. So maybe he won't do it. And he won't do it because she's permitted to him. He won't do it as an obligation. So you hear the bill. So my answer to this was since the reason Rashi says that they say get married Wednesday because they want to rely on his anger, is mashma that when you don't do your obligation, it's not prohibited. Because if it should be a prohibition, you won't have to rely on anger. Say that she's prohibited. Like I said, by one suffix, those svars won't have to come. You don't have to come out of Yom Revi because Easter anyhow, Shuka is not gonna marry. She has to be, once again, she has to be, I want to finish my svar here, what you said. So it must be that the svar of Tzorich Litorah is only a Tzorich. But it doesn't prohibit a relationship. So the rabbis knew that. And therefore they said, we want to make sure we're going to put them on track of nature track, of anger, that the same day will be anger. We may go to God, and that will be done. Yes, what do you want to say, please? Yeah. So he goes to Rabbi, what's my law? He doesn't say sick, it's only boy. He goes to Rabbi, and Rabbi tells him fake, he goes to Rashi. Rashi tells him fake, it's only boy. Goes to the Ram, says it's only boy. No, it's not true. That's not true. Oh, not true. One is Yedias Halachas, one is investigation of Eidim. In Eidus and Bezdin, The Elohim needs some of that scale, he needs basing. It's a reality of Din. Kindness bisulim in basing. That to clarify Allah is you go, you know, kindness is not that. But you have a local, you knock on your neighbor's door, he's an avrech, he isn't the law. What if you have to wait till they open, 3 guys gather together, and Thursday, Monday? And I'm saying is, Allah's purpose person can find out, open the book. And Besmeres is open 24/7. Din, which is an 80, is only open Monday and Thursdays. You have to wait for that time. And basically need to 80. You don't need to know Allah has a six figures. Who says certain things are information, certain things are psak, certain information. A Korean is a psak. Also, not necessarily is a psak. It's to be a reality. There's a whole thing I'm going to tell you about it. It's not new now. Yeah, that's the law. Rashi holds that's the truth. Rashi holds that actually, yes, he has the Mavare. Not two views of Rashi, but Rashi. Yeah, but one group of rabbis, there's a lot. I said it also, you have to Mavare. Yes, Abshleim. Wow. לא צריך, סקס פקה מותר זה מותר, לא צריך, זה לא צריך, מותר, לא צריך בייזין, יש שופן, גם אם לא הלכתי לבייזין, אופן לשולחן אורך, and it's permitted, I don't need a basic comment. I know, but we ask you, אנחנו שואלים, אז רש"י אומר שצריך, יש לך צריך מצווה לגברה, there's a din on the gavra needs to litroach levarer. So they get married Wednesday, then we'll make sure the kas will cause you to mevarer. How you mevarer? You go to basic, you make an option of Shema Elohim. So you did your obligation of Tircha. So the Shema and the bill it goes in the Rashi.
But is there an obligation to go to Beis Din, or he has a possibility if he decides?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. We say a lot of chidushim. You're right. Normally, maybe I can mevarer. Here, when I'm mevarer, I create a call, and maybe who says is iklevurim? It's chidush. We're saying in a chidush iklevurim. When you have six fake iklevurim after mevarer, the normal iklevurim means as a fake mevarer. It's in your hand. Go ask your neighbor what happened. Who's the worker? What happened there? If it got mixed, this or that. But here, it's not the iklevurim. Here is not mevarer the reality. It's to create a reality that maybe go. It's already a chidush iklevurim. It's the kasha there against Sam Sofer. Sam Sofer says it's fake. There's opinions and iklevurim. You have a kiv and a gavra. Have a big kasha on that. When iklevurim, kiv and a gavra, when you can mevarer. But here, you cannot mevarer and just create a reality that maybe go mevarer. Who says you have a kiv for that? Yes, and it's shash maybe 80 shash over so. The other means you can ask the workers. You know you have fake secret happen. If you go to midnight time and you ask the people, just went home, they travel, but if you call them a couple of days, so you find them, you find out the reality, but I don't know it's fake secret. That's cool. It's true. Fake one is in your hands of Mavare, the Shali the Shir the Marana. It's not in your hands of Mavare, it's only in your hands Shema Mavare, not even you, it's somebody else. It's a creator. I'm not saying there's a small to say that's still Chiyuv, but it's already far-fetched. You're already extending those opinions. Even those opinions, they talk about normal cases in your hand to clarify. Yeah, this but here, you're extending them. That is not in your hands to Mavare. It's to create a reality, maybe will be clarified through witnesses. Maybe witnesses. So you have another dimension, another level of a Chiyuv as fake. Maybe another Chiyuv. It's a double down just a minute. One second. Yes. 1 second, Chaim. Somebody's asking. He's so low, I can't hear him. Speak louder. As I'm saying, we're saying like this. When you have double doubts in your hands to clarify, what's in clarify, but even when you clarify, just to create a voice that maybe witnesses come, that's too far out. Who says you have an obligation to do that? It's too much. Maybe yes, not, but I'm saying it's already extending to those opinions. You're putting Rashi in the Ran that says, extending it so far out. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying this opinion sometimes is hard. It's hard. Normally, B'Yoda is Vada. You can go over there. The reality is something else, but it's in your hands. He's not in your hand to Mavaris. It depends on somebody else, and even Shema.
But Rabbi Yitzchak.
Correct. But he has obligation to do that exertion. Yes, Chaim Fisher, Rabbi Chaim Fisher. Yes.
Okay, the last thing I want to say, it says if he has a taina, that means if he has a if he has a taina, that means if he decides to hold on to a taina. That's very simple. That if is the whole point.
I don't get the depths of what you're saying. Repeat, please.
It says if he has a taina. That was mean if. Right. It means if he decides to hold on to a taina. If he decides to hold on to a taina, then that's an if. If right. not. Right. That's not
therefore what?
Well, so therefore if he decides to have a taina, then he goes. If he decides to hold on to the taina, that's an if. It's good. A totally.
Good. That's good. No problem with that. Yes.
Okay, that's all. That's all.
Some cases that the race will have to
intervene.
Sometimes the guy himself, and here we're mixing.
Not true.
Here we're saying more of that. The rabbis got involved to get married on Wednesday to create a natural reality, to force him to do his obligation to clarify by 60. Do a clarification, and maybe won't be clarified. They did so much.
Okay. Thank you.
That's very hard. I want to give an answer. I'm not saying it's wrong. I want to give an answer. And I think that's the main svara, okay? We two svaras, but the main svara is not that. The main svara I understood in Rashi is the language like this. I'm going to read again Rashi, and I want to point out one point. I'm going to read two options in Rashi. I want to point a point why I think Pshat in Rashi is. Velekach tiknu, shetinose berevi. The rabbi speaks they'll be married on Wednesday. Sheimo otainas besulim, if you have a claim of virginity, Yashkim lebezin, will get up in the morning. Behoido kasala, when his anger's still on him. V'im yeshol b'natayim yeshlochit, of some time, post time, there is a worry. Shema ispais, but this kind of then will happen. The kaimeno. The word the kaimeno means the shema is inside of that. I understood what what's your name, Rabbi? Again, Baruch, your name is Rabbi. Baruch Minkus said right away in the beginning. I said I think that's a pshat, but I want to prove from the words. Two rayas, one for this Rashi, one from Rashi later on. First thing, Rashi doesn't say we worry maybe spy gadaitu v'ivaleno no yovoleo. He says v'kaimeno means will be with him forever. Like Tosa says in the end, in Dibur Matkil Shimur Lotanis Besulim, by one suffix, those are talking about one suffix. They says even by one suffix, that's just Kohen, but what's the sign? Maybe she committed adultery under him by force or by for real or not? Not under him.
What?
He says adultery is lo shchiach, snus is no shchiach. So he answers, Inami ochel lo yiteshev imo beisu kol yomov. Shelo yiteshev imo kol yomov, chosh afilu snus agadol shchiach. He says, even though the side of snus is not common, that under him she did something free will, or not free will, it's not common. Taisa says that she's going to be with him forever. It's not because Chumah is a Beshishis. Chumah is that every day in the mornings get up and live with her again. So I want to explain that svara. That's my one something. Now we jump that svara to two sveikas. Now I want to explain this svara. The normal svara of sveika is a dievit. The rules of Chazokois, chances are vessels for us to determine the fact reality. I want to get acquainted. This is very important. Simple. This is part of the Svara Sveiki Kilivuri. Normal rules of, I'll tell you a raya. Last night, I was asked a question. And I looked in this shaila. Like the question where they told me, a lot of people boil eggs with not zugi, not even numbers. So they told me, is it only from 3, from 2, you have to have 3, what about above 3, you still need not even numbers or not? So they asked me, Rabbi, what you do? Because I want to follow your rules and mine. I remember my father, let's remember my mother, we used to cook, always used to cook odd numbers. It doesn't matter which number. 13, 14, whatever it is, should be 13, 15, always odd numbers. The question is real or not. So normally, I try myself, I made a Kabbalah by myself a couple of years ago, that I don't try to answer right away. I want to know, because it will be an opportunity for me always to look at Shaila. It's like make Chazoret. I decided to look in Ilchos Beitzim again. And I saw it, I'm always no get us. Unbelievable. I said, Mina Shamayim, Hashem send me that Shaila. Beginning of April, find that out, tell Sugya. What the look is, there's 2 types of blood. There's one blood comes from a male. That is opportunity of developing a chick, and it's also. But there is another type of blood. It's called basis amuzorois safna me'ara. It's only also in the rabor maris ayin. It's not prohibited be'etzim. People will think either what's enough gemina. If it's a real blood that comes from male, fine blood in an egg that came from male or female, so then depends what the blood is. In the yolk, and the yellow, and the red depends in between. But it's also with the raisa, and we throw the whole eggs. If it's in the wrong place, depends where it is. If it's in the yellow, it's in the yellow, it's permitted. It's in the chibur, it's developing. You have to throw the whole eggs. You have to have shishim against it. It's a real blood. So you have blood cooked here. You have to have 60 against it, not majority 60. So then you need 2, 3, 5 eggs to do 60 against the blood. And all the eggs and even the pot could be also. But if the eggs come from safna me'ara, which means from warmth, so then the egg is permitted. Why? Because the blood is also. It's only mishum arisayin, so the blood itself you have to throw. But the Rambam says, lechatchila throw the whole egg, just people don't know it. Throw the whole egg. So we find blood, we throw it. It's only, but really, mikaradim, if it's based in mamuzores, it's only the blood itself. Doesn't matter where it's, even if it's a chibur, it's only blood. But yeah, I didn't check. What happens if I have an egg, I have an egg, and I cooked it? I didn't check. What's the law? So the idea is fake. The fakest is if majority of eggs don't have blood. You have right. And you need to have blood. What? Not this one, the other one. There's a couple of eggs here. Not this one. It says fake kind of. Do I need a check or not? The Ramo says, lechatchila, you need a check. Says, wow. And the Ramo. The Ramo says, Siman Samach Vov, Siv Dalet, you can look inside. before. You have an option to check before, you have to check before. If you didn't check, but the error is okay. So what I learned from that? This is this. I couldn't explain to that house or all this. All them talking half an hour on the phone. They want to know yes or no. And the answer is Tnuva. There is a rule in Israel. State of Israel made a rule that you now have to sell eggs that come from a male. Only a female in warmth, because the injections they give will go to the egg. It's very dangerous. When the injections of the mother doesn't go to the egg, if it's half an hour, there's no male, only female. So all the eggs which have stamps and not organic, so then the blood is not also bad, Sam, it's only money sign. So if you say it's you have majority, it's not also bad, Sam. So only thing itself. When it's not around, so it's not even money sign. When it's roiv and majorities, right? When you need izugi and all that, that's the real blood of the rice. So you don't need. So really today you don't need izugi. So they want. I should continue on my custom on my parents. Always add numbers today when you have nouveau eggs, which you don't need it. Because some of eggs are organic, some of them do not sneak from Gaza and from Ramallah. My friend told me he in Yeshiva that he saw an egg written on it kosher lePesach in ink. And you know how they wrote Pesach? Pesach. It's Arabs and they can't say Pe, they say Bes. So they knew it came from Arabs, they took a picture. Okay? So you don't know. So you may always continue on the mina. Okay, let me say what I saw from this Ramo. That when you have a suffix, the laws of rules of Sveikis, Roiv, Hazokois, all those rules, God gave us tools to decide reality when I know the reality. But lechatchila, you have an option to be good. Why be bad? Why use those tools? So the Ramos says lechatchila always checked. After he didn't check, okay, this fake is roiv, is only the rabbonon, yalla. But before that, I check. We check eggs. That's what we do today. Check eggs, and some even throw the whole egg, even though it's snuva egg, which is vada imuto. It's only marisayin, right? It's not blood or rice marisayin. Anyhow, but that's what we do. Being good, don't be bad, right? And somebody asked me why. Why do I know it's not? So I said a svor, a little bit of mussoshuzi. The Gemara says that Akash Baruch is not machshil talmidei chachomim. Tzaddikim, Hashem doesn't stumble them, right? Even the animals, even his donkey, Hashem didn't stumble him. So Tosis is not true. We find many Tanoim that stumble. Rabbi Shmuel, he tilted the candle on Shabbos. Rabbi Yehuda ben Baba, he killed Ed Zoimim. However, you see a lot of Tanoim did very big mistakes. Killed and this and that. This is no, food is worse. Food that enters the body is a shame, is a bizoin for tzaddik. Hashem doesn't bring them stumble. I said, that's all. And food, when you have the ability to clarify, even though it's a lot, clarify. Maybe you can say that. But this is what Rashi's saying. Rashi says, it's not stam chumra v'esashis. It's to be married to a woman that there is a side, even 10%, 5% that she's prohibited. So every morning you get up in the morning, it's like you got married, and then Misa Kiddushin is one Kiddush forever. But the Be'ila, each Be'ila is a Nuisu, if she's Nitma. And every time it's like Hatchila, do it again and again. So before you eat the eggs, check. It's right in fake. I'm saying here, everyone will agree. Because the Chassam Sofer is fake, you need a Torah. You have obligation to Torah, mevar or not. I'm saying not. It's not a fake, here is before the fake. Because every time it's a new Be'ila, you came in, Rashi says, Shema Yispais vi Kaimeno will be married here, and it'll be another 1,000 Be'ilos. And each one is the Chatchil, Kaimeno, it's every time and no. See, my two sayings is Biotatira. So what we wanted to give the anger at you. When you get anger, you create a reality of a possibility. So I'm saying a possibility to mevar. And it's not the reason. The reason of Takuna is because it Kaimeno can be what's fake, or Isul, Chatchil, all your life, again and again and again. That's a simple story. I have a higher. Besides the language Kaimeno, Rashi in the few days. I didn't give an answer yet because they cannot hear too many complicated laws. Oh no, yes or no? So I have a doubt in my mind to tell him yes or no. Because really, all eggs which has stems, you don't need them. But they want to know what my father's custom was, what my mother's custom. But really, my father's mother's custom. Today, there's 100% all the eggs with stems don't have any males. There's no need of any more this custom. But you have herbs, you have organic eggs. So I should tell them, no, it's too continue. The mice, I asked my wife what she does. She says, I always add numbers. Odd numbers. I don't have zugos. That's what she does. Even though for women, it's simply have to say, continue the mina always. So people, because there's still organic eggs, and there's other eggs that's smuggled. So it's good to keep them in. What? Yes, it is before. No, he's going to do an act again and again. So doing again and again when you have a sveika, a ma'aseh bia. When you have a multiple ma'aseh bia again and again your whole life, so you basically going to rely on the sveika to do a ma'aseh bia again and again all your life. Even a sveika, the rabbis couldn't allow you. Say they rely on your anger that you're going to create a biru instead. But the reason is not that I'm safer. Not because you have sveika, you have a Torah. Because the multiple issue, that's why even though we ask, the tiche is a suffix. Yes, if your Torah is a suffix, it's not depending on you. You don't care, it's not depending. You have to do all what you can because the rabbis want them attacking the world that a person will not live all his life again and again with the possibility of issue. So therefore, they create a reality that you're going to mevari. Even though the biru is not a biyodoi melo biyodoi. Biyodoi is to create a reality, a platform that maybe will be clarified. But because it's a constant be again and again, ma'aseh chodesh again and again, the rabbis didn't want that. And when we see that, we don't care when there's a show up or not. But you have an obligation to try to clarify. It's only the rabbis want you to clarify. It is because I'll tell you why. No, I told you the same way people do. Why does it glad kosher? What is the concept of God? By food, when it enters your body, that's why I brought the places. When it enters your body, it's a busha, even so why people behadrin. The halach is we father Mechaber, Ramos says it's mutter. But there's one opinion that says it's also you don't need it because it enters your body. So we more machmir. I'm saying I want to adapt that svara. To do something, to be with a woman all your life. Man will be a woman all his life. And again, he's doing a ma'aseh, a biyodai to stop it. And he's doing a ma'aseh that there is a chance, even slight chance. In Medina, from the rules of sveik is permitted. Here, everyone will agree that you need to do a biru. You have to do a biru, and not even the biru will be only a suffix clarification. But you have to do, the rabbis want you to do all what you can to clarify that. Even to give an object, because it's a kaimenos constant. So first one, the language of Rashi and the kashas we have is a sveikas. So this my answer to the Chasam I'm using the Chasam but I'm saying because it's multiple. Not one time. That's added small. You know sveika. If you look in Rashi in that base, Aleph. We finish with this and then we say Musa Shmuz. Rabbi Yossi came exactly in Musa Shmuz. Musa Shmuz, wait a second, one more second, I just want to see the Rashi. You have to see the Gemara, the Tonu Rabbanon. A person got married, Konsor Rishon L'Shem Nesuim, Daf Yud Beis Amud Aleph. But I have to explain the subject of the Gemara and say what Rashi goes on. Du Amaschil Shem Ozin Tachtov Zinsa. A Braise Pori, Rashi says. Which Braise? The Braise said that somebody marries a woman and he never did be with her. He died before he lived with her. And she has Eidim that she was Nistera, or she should be, there was no time to do Isu, or she didn't do Isu. There was Eidim that she got married to the first guy, but there was no Isu between, nothing happened. The second guy cannot say Tanas Besuli. Why? Since the first guy married her, even though we don't know if the husband lived with her or not, I'm talking about adultery. Remember the husband lived with her? She got married, you have to worry, even though there's witnesses that they were there and they check everything out. Maybe something slipped and they didn't see. And therefore, he cannot claim Tanas Besuli. This is what the price is. It's the price. Say, Zoy Someres, from here we learn he has a chazoko that she's a besula. The Somach Haidim, he relied on witnesses that they didn't live together. Yet says a koma and yochel afsid amone aroy la'almonim and nisuim. She cannot lose, even because she relied on aiding that she's a besula. Yet when he find out beula that the aiding didn't know the reality true, he cannot lose a ksuva. Because what he relied on witnesses is not enough. He shouldn't rely on witnesses. He should worry, even though witnesses claimed they were there and nothing happened and lived together. Don't rely. Maybe he didn't see. And apotobos la'arai, just slipping aside, didn't see. They tricked him. And once she was married, you worried that something happened. It's your fault, your stupidity that you rely on aiding. This is what Ravash. This is what Rav is. Ravash is be'alma lo klal. Really be'alma, she has no. If you rely on aiding, it's not. It's stupid. And here, Shain Yocha Sharai Konsa Rishon. The Gemara asks, V'neichush Shema Tachtov Zinsa. What do you? Okay, Eidim only saw that the husband lived with her, but maybe she lived with somebody else. The second guy says, I married a woman. The witness says that she didn't live with her first husband. She's a basur from the first husband. And he finds out Pesach Patuach. Okay, it's not the husband, and maybe somebody else. The second guy cannot claim Besulim. We don't force him to go to court. And the thing will never be clarified. Witnesses can never clarify because the witness said that she didn't live. So a voice will come out. Says, listen, nothing happened. He stopped claiming a claim. The witnesses said that she didn't live with her husband. It's all clean. Oh, maybe he lived with somebody else. It won't be a voice. It will never be clarified, right? So that's why the Shema Asur Eloi. So the Gemara says maybe we should worry. Okay, you cannot lose the money, but why don't worry that maybe she's a surah? Before it says, I married a woman, she has a chazok of basula. And then I found out she's cohabitated, she has a ksuba. We don't ask, maybe it's in so. So then will be clarified. Until then, she has ksuba. So what do we see from Rashi? See from Rashi, very important thing, that there are two different avenues. Rashi says, the second guy cannot claim Tanas Besulim. We don't force him to go to Beis Din. He didn't say, it's very important what I'm saying. You see from Rashi, very clear from Rashi of Yud that the Svara, maybe she's also, that's a reason on its own why the Beis Din forced it to, why the Chacham made a takono to get married Wednesday to go to Beis Din. It's that he has to go to Beis Din to clarify in order to bring a clarification, to bring a clarification. It's a separate. So Luis Barrow was another point. It's a very important idea. The reason why he needs to go to Beis Din, because Chacham wanted to go to Beis Din to clarify. That's the point. Because Shema Zinsa, maybe she did its news. That's what we see from that. Again, the difference between us and Chasam Sofer is as follows. The Chasam Sofer says the reason why the rabbi said get married Wednesday, why have to get married Wednesday? because the Beis Din wants to put you on track that you will create a clarification on the fake state. That's the way the Chassam Sofer is learning. We're saying no. That's not the reason. The reason is, since she will be married to him and will be every day fake Isur, constantly sex and Isur, so the rabbis wanted to get up with anger and go to Beis and go to Beis because maybe go to Beis then we to stop this marriage. Because maybe by him going to go, it will clarify, we'll find out. But the point is, why? It's a separate point. The rabbi said, get out on Wednesday, because they want that if you find she's Pesmatos fake speaker, maybe she's also on your Metaimena. We're afraid that you're going to leave it by you. It's not because you want you to clarify the reality. It's because you don't want you to be with her forever before clarifying. That's the point. Just even with this Rashi. The purpose of this Rashi to show when he has a vav, he breaks it to two. He says Shema Asura. There's 2 points. You want to zoikik the person to go to court, not to mekaimeno, not to be with her. Going to court means hey, stop everything. Stop. I want to clarify. That's one thing. And number 2 is the thing will be clarified. Maybe because he says I don't have both. In the case that by one guy married and was 80, nothing happened, and he's married a virgin, but she was married. A divorced woman got a virgin divorce. That's our case. So I said I don't have both. I don't have 2 reasons. I don't need to push him to go to court and to be with this woman forever. Maybe Zinsa. And anyhow, by going to court, will not be clarified in such a case, because 18 said nothing happened. So now she's breaking it to 2 reasons. So you see that the reason of why the Beis Din, why we want to go to Beis Din, not because I know to create this obligation to clarify. We want to go to Beis Din because it can't be with her forever and ever, and be with suffix forever. It's a separate reason on its own. The Beis Din shelo, not veloi. Veloi means it's a separate thing, you understand? Yes. Yes. Oh, we'll stop here. Learn a deeper B'ezrat Hashem we're going to do next week. The Shitas Arishonim Rosh here. See the Kiva Eger, Shlomo Eger. There's other lot of papers here. Kiva Eger, Maram Shif, Shutr Kiva Eger, Shlomo Eger, Ksab Sofer, and others. It's mainly going to go on the Toisas point. Toisas point is on Tosfot. What? Right, not a lot of papers. You have to put the time and learn it. Yes, Rebbe. Shaloi Kaimeno. Some papers says the Beis Din did it to do your obligation to talk about it. We're saying no. The Beis Din did it. Shaloi Kaimeno. And it'll be a bill. Correct. First of all, yes. Even though she's not over the Kaimeno. They don't it's a reason on its own. The Kaimeno and the clarification. 2 things. I'm adding to something. I'm adding to it. I'm saying if the Chassam Sofer is only the reason I have a problem. Good. You have to add that. Without adding that, we have a kash. And that's in the small of Rashi. Yekaimenu v'shem asur oloi. On the negative side, don't Mekayem, not to obligation to clarify that she's mutter to you, or also to you. Don't Mekayem. That's the reason. Shem asur oloi. The kiyum asur, that's the reason. Okay. Good. I want to say Musa. Okay. Now we started Elo b'siyata d'ishmaya. It was a time of mercy. We spoke about the other day, first day of this month. We spoke about, this is a word from my father I heard, and I want to extend this. My father brought down, bless his memory, that when you look in the Chumash, when it says, Yahav Ahav et Yosef, the word Ahav, if you look over the Unkrus, Ahav, he translates the word Ahav to Rachamim, Rachamoi, mercy. So if I say Elul is a day of Rachamim, means days of love. So now we have a new translation. This is what my father brings down in his book, which is not printed yet, this Ma'amorim. anymore, which will print it very soon, B'ezrat Hashem. And the final, in Mordechai, with all the chosen Mamorim, which I got a group to work on it and chosen to write it. But there's a Maimon not printed yet. But he explains in length this concept of love. The main avoider, the main service that we have to do in Elul is what? People think I have to do in Elul, God, have mercy on me. Normal mercy in the normal circumstance, people, they think about mercy as chemla, as pity. Pity normally means, I'm down, you strong, have pity on me. That's not what Elul is about. Yes, l'choira. Yes, it's not what Elul is about. It's not Yemei Achemla. Elul is not Yemei Achemla, it's Yemei Arachamim. What does Rachamim here means? Days of love. There was 3 times 40 days Moshe Rabbeinu went to Shamayim, and the last one was Yemei Berotzoin Berachamim with love. Shem Salachti Yidvarechon was days of love. What does that mean? It changes all our avodah. People scream in the schilus, we sinned. Rachem no aleinu. What does Rachem no? Doesn't that mean have pity on us? We want to arouse the love. And how do you arouse the love of Hashem to you? It goes both sides. You brought a story. Imagine you had an old girlfriend, and after a while you got separated. An old wife, whatever it is, divorce, mitzalach zero. Come back. And you want to bring back what? The love. Connection is the love. And imagine you come back and you see that she still has a lot of leftover of the old boyfriend, stories. Can you connect again to her? Normally, when you want to come back, a woman wants to come back, a man wants to come to a woman, she has to make all the effort that the old memories and the love and the connection arouse back. Here, this is Yemei Aracham. Yemei Rotzen Berachamim means that you can trigger the love easier. You want to trigger the love. Come, let's meet again. So then it's harder to trigger the love. And Yemei Elul is easier to trigger the love. Is Yemei Rotzen Berachamim. Rachamim, we said, means love. Avo and Racham is the same. What does it mean? Love goes on both ways. How do you trigger the love of Hashem to you? You have to love Hashem. You have to show love to Hashem yourself. If a woman doesn't paint herself, doesn't put who knows what, all those makeup and stuff, and she doesn't get rid of all the remnants and leftovers of the old boyfriend and the ex and this and that, and she doesn't show her attitude as a new excitement, old attitude to arouse the love of before, the love will not arouse. So the Iker Avodah is to rejuvenate the love, the once upon a time, a love we have between Hashem and us. There's a famous Shloach Kodesh, that says, on Rosh Hashanah we blow the shofar. And what happens when we blow the shofar? We blow all Elul, we stop, we blow again. Rosh Hashanah we blow the shofar. And it says when we blow the shofar and remind the Satan gets all mixed up. So the Shloach Kodesh explains why the Satan gets all mixed up. If you blow the shofar, you remind Yitzchok, Yitzchok. Why blowing the shofar makes the Satan get mixed up? So the Shloach Kodesh gives a big secret. This I heard, I didn't see it inside, but I heard it from Rabbi Yudah Deri Zechatzan Livroch. Should be Nishmasa. I heard it, he named Rabbi Shlomo, I didn't see it inside. He says, that it all fit in. He says that when we take one word of the Torah, Hashem says, Yom Truah, day of Truah means what? Yevavo. We know what Truah means. And we make chumres, and we blow the shofar not once, not twice, 100 times, right? And 100 times. Everybody's 80%. Again, you have all the kavonas. So then what it shows Chavivu Samitza. Rashi says shows Chavivu Samitza. And he explains Chavivu Samitza means shows love. This is very important what I want to say. The Ikar Avoid is this. When Hashem sees that he told us one word and we try to put all our hearts to make sure that we feel his will. And we do chuvas all the sides, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this, and we do before and after. And we want to make sure 100% that we did all our what it shows that the words of Hashem is chaviv. It's something we love, something we cherish and we care about. When you have a wife, and you have a fight, you see she works hard for you. And she works hard to fulfill your will. What happens naturally? Everybody's married, knows. Love enters your heart again, right? You see that she cherishes your words. She takes your words and she works very hard to fulfill. She's working very hard to do your will. The Rambam says, what is the way of noise that is guaranteed that the marriage will stick? Is that the wife makes the husband, she follows his desires, or she walks whatever his desire. Hey, he wants to eat meat. She prepares the meat the best way. Wants to eat chicken. She goes, she walks in the desires of his heart, and she makes him a king. That will create a tremendous love to the husband. So I don't know what is the name of is the love. There's two ways. One is that we spoke about the other day, first day of the Zman, is machshava. If you think about the goodness that Hashem gives you, the Rambam says, how do you create? There's a mitzvah to love of Hashem. How can you create love? Love is emotion. Something emotion is not. Through machshava, akoha. If you think about it and you recognize all the good that Hashem did to you, automatically you have love back. That's the Rambam. But now we're adding more. And actions is if you medagdek on the mitzvahs, you medagdek on what you learn. You hear this, young guys. You learn something to the end, even to the end. You medagdek understand with all your strength. I want to know what's the shot. Yes, this is the Rambam. The mitzvah of Hashem, you have it in your pocket, very good. That's what it means. But you think, how can you have it? The Rambam says, how do you have it? By you recognize, understanding what he does to you, then he create love. It's thinking and understanding. Now we're adding more and maisi, and action. The avoid in reality and practical is to take a sugya and not to leave it until you understand. You want to know what Hashem wants me to my end. You go over again to the last, this the Sam Soifer, the Benesives, the Rashi, what exactly it means. This Shadu says to prove, because you want to know how much Hashem he said. Hashem told me here, Hashem. 200% strength. Until there, what it shows that something is value you can't love. Something is a side by and by away. Shows you love to Hashem. Taking up mitzvahs, learning the mitzvahs to do the till the end. You do it again. You know exactly what is young Torah. What is Torah? You have to do before and after. And when you stand up, after Shmones, you sit down and it's crazy. I remember one time, you remember last year or 2 years ago, we had a cardinal came to Yeshiva. You know what made him affect to come to Yeshiva to become Jewish? The bishop. And now his friends also now learning that they want to become Jewish. A big cardinal, was supposed to be a pope, wants to become Jewish. Anyhow, what moved them? You know what moved them? This Yom Torah. I explained to them why the Jewish people blow the shofar. He says, I don't see in the Bible where it says what you guys are doing. It says Yom Torah. What? What is Torah? Torah means he thought Yom of excitement. No, Torah means, and I showed him, I showed him, he saw from one word. Wow. You guys have a whole world behind. One word, and I have a whole world behind. I want to be part of that. He understood. Now, it comes from, a lot of people husbands think, it's a yoke. The Jewish people making more rules. Remember, one time was a famous comedian, a Jewish comedian, that Mamish, I almost puked when I heard him, Mamish. But I laughed. Because very sharp. He said, he had a whole, what does this comedian says? There's halacha not to have a Christmas tree. You know that one. Then he said, Christmas tree. house for 12 weeks to be a Christian tree. And how far meets me from your house? He starts going home. I call the rabbis, do whatever you want. He's doing this, and everybody laughs and they laugh. So I say, he made a joke on the rabbis. It wasn't a joke. You didn't understand what he's saying. Because if you look, this is very important. Everybody laughs because they look and they tell you, no, we change the words of our church. It's a duty and a source for us to connect to Hashem and make sure we do Hashem's words on 100%. Well, you have to change his glasses. You have the wrong glasses. For us, it's Chavivus HaMitzvah. We love Hashem. We want to make sure change to connect to Hashem. We have no way to connect to Hashem only through his word. So I want to make sure with all the energy with the word is telling me to the detail, to the core details, and all how it says Hashem's word. This is who we are. This is what the yeshiva is about. So the guy in the yeshiva doesn't an iyun. He's out of the box. He doesn't say what it's all about. What the yeshiva is about. If you're not in the I'm serious. You're not Chavivus HaMitzvah. You're out of the box. You don't put all your strength to review the Chazoros, the Bekiyas, and all you have in Talmud or B'Yodoi. It means you don't have Hashem. What's Oived Hashem and Namavodoi? You're not serving Hashem. Serving of love. So it's all strength all your end. We're only strength till the end. If you don't do till the end, you're not part of the box. You don't understand what it's all about. And that's how you Zeiche Bedin. Because we blow the shade for the sun and gets destroyed. You know why it gets destroyed? So the Shlach Kodesh says like this. When he sees, this is the point of the Shlach Kodesh. When he sees that the Jewish people do the mitzvah with chavivus with love, so that Gemara says that when the person comes back to Hashem with love, all his dainais, this is a very important about Shul. All the intentions of ACD turns to what the is. So before he thought, yes, 70% of it, 20% mitzvahs. 30% is 100 because all his Avegas turn to Schiras. He has 100% Schiras. He runs away. Gets from me, boom, boom, we'll mix them up. No chance to get this dude. So the way to win is to do what is Avodah and Elo. Now, means love. This, thinking about Hashem and thinking of the goodness of Hashem when he gives you, when he does to you, create love. But he also has to show love. How do you show love? Chavivus HaMitzvah, Dikus HaMitzvah, learning Biyun till the end, trying to understand Hashem's words till then with all your strength. That shows Chavivus, that shows Chashivus, that shows the love to Hashem. And with that, we can be Zoich Bedin, Bezer Hashem, never have Ksiv Chasim to you. Shabbos, Rabbi Hanania ben Akash